being weird and doing weird things just because. Kind of like this thing on my head. That could include probably, I don't know, being weird could be maybe making 80 videos in one day and spreading them within a month's time period. People actually do that? I think some people actually do that. They probably make just a whole batch of videos, 150 videos, and then spread them across the month. Being weird is trying things, because remember, you only live once. You only live once. So if you don't try, if you don't experiment, then what do you have? Just a life lived in fear. What is a life? What does a life amount to lived deep in fear? It's just existence. You just solely existence for the purpose of existing. I think more people should be weird for the reasons of, we grow up in society. Your parents in society lay the foundation for you of what you should be. And when you follow rules of what you should be, you never come to fully know yourself. Because if somebody told me that I should be this as a child, and I'm molding my brain along the way as I go, all I have to show for that is a should. It doesn't show my pure essence of who I really am. It doesn't show any of that. Weird people, I think weird people should dominate the world. And I say that because weird people are not afraid to take chances. They're not afraid of losing. They're not afraid of what if they don't gain world dominance. They're just not afraid. We are not afraid. I say we because I'm like probably one of the most weirdest people in my family. My mom is kind of crazy. Yeah, she's kind of crazy, but I'm probably one of the most weirdest one in my family. I take time to think a lot. I think weird people, they think a lot. They was born to just not see things for what it is. They were born to see things in relation to possibility. What will an outcome be from me starting from A? Weird people think at all angles. I could start over here and end up over there. But there's all type of shifts and everything between from me getting from here to there. There's all type of wins, losing, possibilities all in between those steps. Different avenues. Everything in life is just not straight, on a straight path. There's no straight and narrow path. I don't know who made up that idea. There's a straight and narrow path. Do you know how many successful people on this earth, many of them weird to the extremity, that got there and they couldn't walk straight and get in there? Walking a straight and narrow path is not fun. There's no experimentation in that. There's no seeing what is the actual possibility. Being weird, you see the whole picture. You see a whole picture. You see everything. You don't just see what you're told to see. You see it all. You see it all and some. Sometimes it's black and white. Sometimes it's color. Sometimes it's a notebook. Sometimes it's a coloring book. Sometimes it's a fax machine. Sometimes it's a TV screen. Sometimes it's a stove. Sometimes it's a microwave. You see what I'm saying? Weird people. We do things just to try them out. Just to see what comes about. What is the outcome? Is there an outcome? Maybe there isn't an outcome. And yet we don't care. We don't care what people really think in relation to that, because we're mad scientists. We'll take anything and test it out. That's the point. It's to test and see. We know life is testing us every day. There's no escaping the test, trials and tribulations of life. We know and understand that, but at the same time, we want to take things in our own hand and test them out. If I put this ball of clay in my hand, will it explode? Or would it just melt and hit the floor? What could happen with that thing? You were once told what could happen with that thing, and you were told to avoid that thing because that thing could have caused you harm or may cause you harm. So that's why you were guided away from that thing. And yet that thing could be of good for you, because that same thing you were told to stay away from, you might be one of those weird people that one day grow up, be that mad scientist, and take it upon himself and cure the world of its ills. You might be that person that was told to stay away, and you come up with the definition again of what AIDS is, and you solve the definition of what the problem is. You gotta always have an open mind. You gotta always be weird. You gotta always be thinking outside of the box. You gotta always be evolving and growing and transitioning in something than what you are today. Yesterday is gone. You're not the same person as you were yesterday. Each second, each moment, each minute, each hour is just a new moment and opportunity to evolve and grow. You're doing that even when you don't want to. And I say that because we are shedding our skin. Your skin, old skin dies away, it falls away. That's the part of evolving process for all human beings. What's old must die. It must be cast away. So your body is evolving as you go. Your mind might not be evolving. Some people, they don't help to expand their mind and their awareness, but their brain is continuing to grow, although it's dying off. Because with age comes change. With age comes decline. That's just the natural human process. See, weird people, we think about stuff like this, and it's crazy because we can stand amongst the most normal, everyday people and freak them out. Why am I freaking you out? Helping you to think on a deeper level, helping you think deeper than what's at the surface. Don't live at the surface. Don't go by what somebody told you. Always allow your mind, never put a barrier on your mind. This is what weird people, this is how we think. We don't put a barrier on our mind. We let our mind roam. When no one is around, we let our mind roam. Whether it's happiness, whether it's sadness, whether it's fear, whether it's being terrified. My old school word I used to like to say, terrification. Terrification is when you're just terrified of everything. Weird people, we just let our mind go. We let it go. We're not the average. We don't put our mind in a playpen. We don't set our mind in a playpen and just let its inhibitions just stay stuck and stagnant behind walls. No. We allow our mind to do what it's supposed to do, which is to transform and alter itself and form new connections. The only way you can allow yourself, your brain, to do that is if you just let it freely flow. The universe is all about flow. Your brain is all about flow. See, I believe if you block things, the way that you're thinking, if you feel that you're a weird person and you hide that from other people, I think if you try to halt that and not allow yourself to be that weird person that you are, I think and believe that leads to sickness. It leads to some form of illness. Because remember, if I'm not being myself, and I know that I was born to just be weird and outlandish with my weirdness, not putting on a show for attention, but I'm just living the wholesome person that I was meant to be. If I block that, I'm turning against myself. I'm bringing a war against myself. Because when no one is around, I'm thinking about all the things that I should be doing, but I won't do because I'm afraid of how I will be judged on the outside. That's a war. That leads to an internal war. And once it leads to an internal war, you're kind of like at a loss, because once again, you're blocking. You're putting up a wall against yourself. And you're slowly beating down yourself and tearing down yourself. Stagnant energy has nowhere to go but around and around, beating and banging up against a wall, trying to find its way out. That's why you should never put holds and strongholds and blockage on yourself if you know that you're weird. Many people know that they're weird. I believe all humans are weird. They just block themselves out to fit in and conform with normal society. But for many people, that don't work. It leads to illness. It leads to physical illness. It leads to mental illness. It leads to all type of chaos in relationships. Because look, you're already told how to be when you're in relationships with family, friends, whoever. You're told how to be. But being told how to be is not the real you. It's not the real authentic you. So that's one war in itself. And then when you tell yourself, oh, I want to do this, oh, I feel I should do this, but I can't because what does the world think? That's another war. That's another actual war. So after a while having all these wars, sooner or later you're going to end up enduring some type of illness. Because you're casting your internal weirdness down to the ground. You're giving it no place to flourish. No place to be a butterfly and fly. We were all put on this earth to fly. To just freely flow with the atmosphere. Yes, you have to be aware to who you're surrounding yourself with. We understand that. But like minds attract other like minds. If you ever come across other people and you wonder, why do I keep coming across these weird type of people? It could be because you're weird yourself. And you've halted yourself from allowing yourself to see that. So, in me saying this, be weird. Allow weirdness to take hold of you. A lot of times, you just being yourself, being weird, presents itself with so many opportunities, choices, and options. Because the universe opens itself to those that are not afraid to lose, as well as those not afraid to gain. But it starts with being you first.